Welcome back. We're minutes away from opening statements in the retrial of defendant Karen Read. And this legal rematch is what's trending in true crime this morning. I'm showing you a live look at the courthouse in Dedham, Massachusetts, where this case is taking place. Read is accused of second-degree murder for the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. And while we don't know what's about to happen today, we know we're going to be seeing some different faces. This year, Special Prosecutor Hank Brennan is leading the case for the Commonwealth, and he and Karen Read's defense attorney, Alan Jackson, will be facing off during opening statements. This is going to be a lot different than last year when we saw David Yannetti and Adam Lally facing off. So we can look back last year and maybe we get some clues. Take a look.
Different people from within the pickup and different people from within the house observed that Lexus SUV in one location, pull up a little bit further, and then pull up a little bit further till it's in the area of that fire hydrant, of that flagpole, where Mr. O'Keefe is located the following morning. And no one ever exits that vehicle. There are no footprints around that vehicle. From all of those people within that house that evening, none of them at any point in time observed John O'Keefe come into the house. They see the vehicle out front, they see the vehicle pull away, and they just assume that they left and that no one was coming in.
All of them leaving the residence. Each of them walked out facing the front lawn, where the Commonwealth will tell you that a 6'2", nearly 220-pound big man in dark clothing was sprawled on the front lawn when there was only a dusting of white snow on the ground. He was supposedly sprawled on that lawn, just feet from where these people were walking when they left the residence. And you will learn that not one of these people saw John O'Keefe laying there.
So here's what we're wondering this morning. Who is going to steal the show this morning? Let's talk about it. I want to welcome in now podcaster and host of the Roberta Glass True Crime Report, Roberta Glass, and the prosecuting attorney for the city of Hampton, Virginia, Anton Bell, should be with us, but I see our friend Joseph Scott Morgan here. Hey there, Joe. There's Anton. Joe made a little cameo getting ready for the next segment with us. All right. I'm so happy to have you both here to talk about this. So opening statement's a big deal, right? The first impressions for the jury seems like it's going to look a lot different, and we know two different people are going to be delivering them. So how might that affect things? Roberta, would love your thoughts, please.
Well, I think the star, if you're going to ask who the star of the show is, I'd say the star of the show is going to be Karen Read's own statements, which Hank Brennan plans to use in his open statements. Her contradictory and self-incriminating statements, those are going to be the star of the show, I think, this morning.
Oh, that's such a great answer, Roberta Glass. Just brilliant. Like your work on this case. You've really dug deep and done so much research. You know the case well. And these attorneys have been in it for some time. Alan Jackson, since the start. Hank Brennan, he's new, but can't think of anybody more thorough than him when it comes to lawyering. Anton Bell, how do you think this is going to go when you have one attorney who's had round one already, but then a new one who is arguably one of the best lawyers in the country? So there's that.
So I agree with Roberta. When you have a statement that says, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, how do you not use that and just really drive your point home? Now, here's the issue when you're dealing with a retrial. Normally, a defense attorney has somewhat of an advantage in that when we first try a case, they know all of the Commonwealth's evidence because they get discovery and they get our witness list, and they know somewhat of a summary of what each witness is going to testify to. Most times, Commonwealth attorneys, we will know somewhat of what the defense may claim in their case in chief if they put on one. However, a lot of times we don't discover that until they actually try the case. In a retrial, you now know what their angle is. You now know what their defense is, and now you can use that to your advantage to strengthen your case the second time you try it. So I think the prosecution in this particular case has the advantage.
Really great points. Anton, thank you for that. We have a couple clips of Hank Brennan and Alan Jackson for anyone who maybe didn't watch this one the first time around and hasn't been following it as we've been leading up. Here we go.
You see that this here, 2 teeth, if the dog's canines started here and worked their way down this way, they don't line up. They're not even. It's backwards.
It would be an odd configuration.
Well, odd. It would be like Ripley's Believe It or Not. The dog would have to have their teeth the opposite way.
No, I could see how that could happen.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
A bunch of witnesses who took the opportunity to describe harassment. No third party, including any blogger, any social media personality, any member of the public, no third party speaks for Ms. Reed. No third party speaks for the defense. No third party acts on behalf of Ms. Reed, is directed by Ms. Reed or the defense, or is under Ms. Reed or the defense's control.
In fact, Mr. Carney has over a dozen indictments for just that.
So what are we most anxious to see in these opening statements? Roberta, what would you say would be the one thing you're most looking forward to seeing happening this morning?
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing these statements. Now, Karen Reed has given all sorts of interviews. This is one of the defense's strategies, is to put on this innocence fraud campaign pre-trial. I think originally in an effort to get the case dropped. It didn't work. She went to trial. She got a hung jury. This time around, all those statements are coming in. They weren't in last time, and more. She's given more interviews, and all the outtakes of those interviews and off the record statements. I'm looking forward to hearing those. That's what I'm most interested in hearing.
Right. That's such a valuable thing, Roberta. And you're right. You made a great point. Little reminder, these statements were available, at least some of them. She's made more, and now there's even more available now. But the first time around, the prosecutors did not take that opportunity. Anton Bell, I know you would have taken that opportunity. What do you think about that? Do you think that might have really affected the outcome the first time?
It could have absolutely swayed the case in a different direction. When you have a mistrial, it can be one juror that is stuck on something. It can be multiple jurors that's stuck on something. I'll tell you, when looking at this case, some of my hangups. Some of my hangups is it reminded me so much of the O.J. Simpson case. Because if you remember, the defense tried to play to racial bias in this particular case. And in this particular situation, they're trying to play to the blue wall bias, because you had his own doing the investigation. And so they tried to pin a number of mistakes that were made by one particular trooper, saying that, his emotions clearly got in the way of his ability to clearly sort through the evidence. They wanted to pin this on her. And they said the same thing in reference to O.J., his celebrity status, him being an African-American. They wanted to pin this crime on him. Now, the one thing that they have to address, and that is the medical examiner, who said it is possible. She agreed that it is possible he could have died as a result of being hit by the car, or he could have died potentially by someone hitting him in the back of the head. That is a huge issue.
You're right. Excellent issue spotting there, Anton, and really appreciate the point you made. It's brilliant what you said. They're playing to bias against the blue wall. I haven't heard anybody put it like that, and I think you're so right. Roberta, I would love to hear your thoughts on that, dovetailing off of what Anton just shared.
Oh, yes. I mean, and not only that, Karen Reed has said that she's going to donate the extra money. She's looking to raise $1 million. I think she's raised $750,000 of the money that we know. I mean, it all seems to be unaccounted for and go into the ether. We don't know where it goes. But she said she's going to donate her money to Black Lives Matter. So, and the Innocence Project, to what I'd call, for me, disreputable organization. So perfect for her. Perfect for her. So she's attached her case to these issues, and of course pulled up this police hating of the police, the real war against the police. She's joined in on it, and I think it's really been it's been a distraction campaign. Anything to distract away from the real evidence against this psychopathic murderer.
Right, a distraction campaign. Well said, Roberta. You know, I was watching, one of my favorite shows is Blue Bloods, and Frank Reagan always has words of wisdom, and he said, facts do not cease to exist just because some people choose to ignore them. And I heard that, and I'm thinking, just as we're getting ready to start this case, I'm very mindful of those wise words. We're going to see some facts today. My friends, Roberta Glass, Anton Bell, I can't wait to have you both back on the show. Thank you for the great insight this morning.